Hi, welcome to Suspended in Thought. I've always been intrigued by the simple fact that everything begins with an idea of something. And even when it isn't fully formed, it can have such a hold over us and it can become a driving force. And how incredible is it that something so intangible and invisible thought can have such power over us? People have invented things, started businesses, fought injustice, reimagined their lives. Because an idea can become a vision, and we can believe in it so deeply that we stop seeing it merely as one possibility amongst many. Also, we become so focused on what life is supposed to look like or just achieving it that we may not stop to consider how it might actually feel when we get there. Sometimes the reality of it doesn't fulfill us in the way we imagined. And it can be so incredibly difficult to reconsider because by then, all of our life choices may have been directed towards achieving this. And we may have built an identity around it. That's happened to me. For years, I had dreamt of doing a PhD. I've loved learning ever since I can remember. The thought of spending my life reading, writing, thinking felt like such a privilege. Eventually, I got there. On paper, it looked exactly like the life I had imagined. But in reality, I was deeply lonely, unhappy. It wasn't how I had expected it would feel. And if I couldn't love this completely, then maybe I was wrong about myself. And if this wasn't enough, then how could anything else ever be? The thought of leaving felt impossible, and yet I did. But in leaving it, without realizing it, I let go of the idea that I could have such a life. Because I'd stopped seeing it as something I was pursuing. And instead, it became the only place where I thought I could become who I was. And once that happened, I could no longer imagine another way of living into that part of myself. And without realizing it, I shut that part of myself. And all of this now makes me realize how these decisions are rarely clean. Because the time we've invested has to matter. The sacrifices we've made the sacrifices we've made have to mean something. And perhaps we fear that letting go of the idea will somehow make all of it meaningless. And I wonder, how often do we continue living into the idea of something, even when the reality doesn't make us happy? How often do we remain faithful to the idea of success, even when the life inside it doesn't fulfill us? Or to the idea of love, even when the relationship is no longer loving? Or to the idea of belonging, even when staying requires us to abandon parts of ourselves? And I think we have to somewhere understand that regardless, though, just the act of pursuing it is transformative. And it's only now that I can see how long it has taken me to loosen the unconscious hold that decisions had on me, to reclaim the parts of myself I thought I'd left behind. It took me years to realize that I hadn't stopped wanting a meaningful life. I'd only stopped believing it was possible for me. Until now. Until I began writing these reflections, thinking aloud again, talking to all of you, allowing myself to have a voice without waiting for someone or something to legitimize it, and realizing that no one was preventing me from such a life except me. Perhaps that is both the beauty and the danger of an idea. Pursuing it changes us, and letting it go changes us too. Either way, we rarely emerge as the person we were before. And all of it makes me wonder, how do we know when an idea is still guiding us and when it has begun limiting who we believe we can become? I'd love to hear from you. Let me know what you think. What lingered, what challenged you, what resonated, and as always, I hope you have fun being suspended in thought.